If you were given a chance to be the president of Africa, not Ghana, the president of Africa, how would you manage Africa?
Probably create one currency for Africa and choose one or two languages so everyone can communicate. Require every African child to go to school, even also go to university. I would do like exchange programs, significant exchange programs, and have African kids go to be raised in America, and American kids who are performing poorly and getting in trouble be sent to Africa.
So, can you tell us more about you, who you are, why you came to Africa?
Yes, my name is Maya Gilliam. I came to Africa a while ago, about 2007, for the very first time. And I fell in love with Africa. I fell in love with Ghana.
Yeah.
And I've been coming back ever since. But the past 2 years, I've been coming like every other month.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what actually brought you to Africa? What actually brought you to Ghana?
For the first time?
No, like you living in Ghana, coming to Ghana, and so forth.
Oh, yeah. So the first time I came for work. And then after that, I've always envisioned myself having a spa and doing real estate. And over the years, I just saw so much real estate popping up, and I was so inspired. And I said, one day I want to do that. So that's what I'm doing
Wow.
now.
So far so good. As you're in Africa now, how many businesses have you established so far?
One business called Mati Spa,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're doing a bit of real estate.
Wow.
hmm
So you sell land, you build, and so forth for diasporas, and
Well, this house we're in right here, I purchased this house, and then we're working on another house in East Legon Hills, which is for sale,
wow.
off plan even. You'll save money.
So what made you think that you should leave America and come to Ghana to stay here permanently?
America is the stress level is 10 times
Mm-hmm.
higher. I can notice it when I leave Ghana and go back to America. The
Yeah.
first 3 days are just very stressful. Um, I've been noticing in America that people are what we call a rat race,
Yeah.
where you just wake up in the morning, same time, go to work or go to school, and then work all day and come back home, cook, clean, go to sleep, and it's just a cycle. And I need adventure
Yeah.
in my life, so after COVID, I just decided to change the way I was living completely.
Wow.
Yeah, and the violence, random
Yeah.
violence too. It's like we can deal with, you know, regular neighborhood violence. You
Yeah.
get me? But, you have school shootings at almost every
Yeah.
week. Then they shoot at movie theaters, just indiscriminate mass shootings. So there's that, and then the police. And then the fact that really most Americans are just all living in debt.
Wow.
I mean, they don't own anything. So 3 bad months and their car can be gone, their house can be gone. So it's just not a real life.
Yeah. Like you made mention of, or maybe you said a whole lot of things, and I'm really happy you moved to Africa just to also help in promoting Africa and also building Africa together. But let's look at the bigger picture. We Africans, let me put it that way, because African Americans are Africans. So let me put it this way. We Africans are the one that built Europe, that built America and other continents and so forth. But yes, still for me, I would say Africa is still struggling to reach its goals and so forth. So you being a diaspora or maybe African American and I being an African, how are we going to merge our culture, our education together to build Africa to like for us to also sustain in the continent that we are living.
Yeah. So the way I'm envisioning is I'm just trying it. So I've come here. We have about 13 staffers that work here. I can tell that they need a lot more training as far as when it comes to customer service. So it's like everybody that works here is in like a little university,
Yeah.
like boot camp on how to be professional customer service. So it's that way. And then also they're helping me tremendously because it's like 10 times more expensive for payroll in the United States
Yeah.
that sometimes it cannot be sustained. So here you can operate a little bit more efficiently. The operating costs are lower. I think in a practical way, I really feel like there's a lot of busy people in the United States, but they don't have enough money to pay like someone to help them, right? So I feel like a virtual uh, virtual personal assistant
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
situation could happen, and that way, like working people who really need help in their to-do list can get that help, and then we could bring some of that money from America to Ghana, and some of the help to America, so that people in America can try to live debt free and move to Africa, which will create jobs in its own. But at the same time, we need to keep that connection with America because we built America for free. So we can't just leave it. We can't just leave all the cash there. Which is one of the reasons why I travel back and forth, is because if you want to live luxury, you
Yeah.
have to keep your US dollars coming.
Yeah.
Now when the dollar falls, that's another story. But for now,
Yes, but as far as we are also promoting Africa, you also helping in promoting or maybe developing Africa. The fact that you've been in Africa, I don't think you should do things in an American way within Africa,
mm-hmm.
because you are talking about the dollar and so forth. So automatically you are comparing the currency to African currency, and this is the case. Africans don't respect our currencies and so forth.
Well,
So
there's a good reason not
yes.
to. So
So
we have to
what?
just be real.
Fine. So what? Let's look at the bigger picture, the situation at hand. How are we also going to make sure our currency is being compared to the dollar?
I think that's going to be up to the leaders. Honestly, I don't think we have any control over that. But what we can do is just let everybody make more money, whether it be CDs or dollars. Again,
Yeah, the fact that the leaders are also there. One day you might also become a leader. So you might have
I'm a
known it.
businesswoman.
Yes, fine, but it doesn't matter. A businesswoman can also be a leader. So maybe you might also have this solution to the leaders. Maybe they might not know. So you, if you know that you have the solution, why don't you just prompt the leaders for them to also use that
I
solution?
don't have a solution yet. I don't. I'm here figuring this out.
Hmm.
This company is only 1 year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But what I can do is come here and create jobs. And that's what I've been doing. And I've been doing development, real estate
Yeah.
development. That's more jobs. That's all I know how to do right now. And that's how I know how to survive the American way.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you.
A whole lot of African Americans are willing to move to Africa,
Yeah.
but they don't have the means, they don't have the financial strength, and so forth to move to Africa. And secondly, Americans and Europeans, let me generalize it that way. I'm not trying to disrespect somebody's country or maybe somebody's continent, but let me just put it this way: these Europeans are kind of racism, and they are trying to they are painting Africa in a negative way to for people to know that Africa is like a bush that you cannot come
Yeah, it's
here
terrible.
to even live.
Yeah.
So you being an African American visiting Africa, living in Africa, what would you tell your people out there about Africa to them?
Oh man, I do it every day on social media. I show the luxury of Africa. I show spas and 5-star hotels and all these fabulous things. So that's like been one of my main staples for all my social media, is showing the luxury of Africa. Because I grew up seeing just starving people and stuff like that. So I'm definitely doing my part to change that because there's so much luxury and beauty and so nice.
So ever since you came to Africa, have you ever find any difficulties dealing with an African?
In business.
No, in terms of, let's generalize it. It's not about only business, but in your real life and
uh,
so forth.
yeah, when we come to Africa and we're speaking like this, they think we're white. They don't know we could just completely switch it up
Yeah.
and speak like Black American slang.
Yeah.
But you can understand me better if I speak like this.
Yeah. Of course.
But if I chop it up with you like this, you would know what else I was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Did you know what I said?
Yeah. I heard you.
Did you know what I said
Yeah.
though? So a lot of times we have to speak like more white so that you can understand us versus like Black American slang. So because of that, we get overcharged, you know, for things that should cost 300 CDs cost 700 CDs, things like that, and just stereotypes. Also, there's a lot of fake love that we have to deal with.
Fake love.
Yes.
Wow. So have you ever been brokenhearted by an African man before? Since you are talking about fake love.
Well, you just have to know that the word love doesn't mean the same thing as it does in America.
Yeah.
It's an important word. People don't use it loosely. Here, you know, you meet gentlemen, not all, but you meet gentlemen, they say they love you the first day, and it's like, you don't know me.
But in this world, African love is really the best more than any other love in this
Oh,
world.
I'm not saying African love is not
Yeah.
great. I'm saying there's a lot
No,
of
like
fake love.
yes, I know.
So they fake like they love you
Yes.
to take advantage
Maybe they are
of
just
you.
stalking your money, or maybe they wanted to take something from you and
Yes.
so forth. So they are not really true about
The
what they are.
love,
Yes, what they
yeah.
are saying. But so since you've gotten all those kind of gist and so forth,
Well, I know how to spot it now.
fine.
I've been coming a long time.
Yeah. So far, are you into an African man?
Not at the moment.
So what are you waiting for?
I'm single at the moment.
No, but what are you waiting for?
Oh, I'm not waiting. I'm not looking. I'm just doing what the ancestors
Okay, so
want me to do.
I am trying
So
to.
that happens.
I am just trying to throw you a challenge. My camera guy is single. Okay, since you are also single, may
Hey, you know what? This is good. We should start dating people that are brought to us by people that we know. But yeah, that's funny. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. So like I was saying, my camera guy is single. So maybe you are also single. So you guys can even mingle together and see if it might work. I am not saying that it should work, but maybe you guys can take it to the next level.
Is this a dating show?
Anywhere, anybody can watch my YouTube channel and then maybe fall in love with somebody. At least,
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
My IG is Mati Spa Ghana.
Mhm.
Maati Spa GH. I'm sorry,
Wow.
on IG. So follow it. Send me a message.
So no, you don't have to even put your Instagram handle there. My camera guy is there, so maybe you guys can exchange numbers and so forth. So for me, I'm not.
Why are you putting him on the spot like that?
So now that you've been in Ghana for a whole lot of time, what are the best dishes that you've taken in Ghana before? Like the best ones?
Oh, I mean, my favorite is tilapia and banku
Wow.
with pepper sauce. That's my favorite.
Wow. Good one.
And palava sauce.
Sauce and so forth. So let's
Cassava leaf.
okay.
Mm.
Wow. So let's look at this. You have employed a whole lot of Ghanaians working for you. You might have seen capabilities in them. Maybe people do more than what you are expecting them to do. Okay? They have talent and so forth. So you being an African American, what are you also trying to help the ones that have talent in doing what they are doing?
Oh, well, I just help to cultivate the talent, pay them what they deserve to be paid. I mean, honestly, what people are paid here is ridiculous. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I always do what I can to pay more than what they might expect and what they're really worth. Sometimes people should only get paid what they get paid because they do nothing all day. And those people, I try to have them listen to certain videos to like self-help, like be proactive. Here we don't sit and do nothing. Like they know, like
Yeah.
that's not what we do
Always
during work
something,
hours.
yeah.
During work hours, we're doing something that's going to generate income.
Income.
So just try to share what I've learned through my internships where I've worked for free to, learn a trade. And they were hard on me, so I'm hard on my interns and workers. We only do black excellence here. We don't do mediocre here at all.
So, so in your own point of view, what are the things that is limiting Africa to develop, and what are the things that is even taking Africa far to develop?
Okay, number one is if Ghana will just fix all the roads, it will then be a first world country in a matter of years. It takes too long to get to places that are close.
Yeah.
You get me? So if they can just fix the roads, I think that would be huge. And then they need to require education. It should be illegal for kids not to be in school. It should be illegal. They have to be in school. So I noticed some kids that weren't in school, and I was like, "What? Why are they outside at the middle of the day? They should be in school." But I understand they may not have school fees, but it's the government's responsibility to make sure every kid is in school. And then just tell the Chinese, whoever we have debt to go fuck themselves, and we're not paying it. Simple.
Wow. So
I
if
mean,
if you were
we're not gonna pay it.
if you were given a chance to be the president of Africa, not Ghana, the president of Africa, how would you manage Africa?
Probably create one currency for Africa and choose one or two languages so everyone can communicate. Require every African child to go to school, even also go to university. I would do like exchange programs, significant exchange programs, and have African kids go to be raised in America, and American kids who are performing poorly and getting in trouble be sent to Africa. Simple.
You made mention of intercontinental traveling and so forth. So
Yeah.
maybe if I should put it that way, Africans has everything to manage Africa, but yes, to some of the youth are traveling to America, to Europe, to Asia, just to find a living. You have also traveled from America to Ghana just to find a living. So comparing this kind of movement, would you advise an African to travel to Europe, to America to find a living, whilst we know that Africa has the capabilities of managing its own resources and its own development?
They do, but the leaders are not doing that. Number one, so we have to work with what we have, right? So they're simply not paid enough here. It's not possible. You get me? You have to go make the money, then bring the money back and the skills back.
Wow.
I think.
So don't you think with that, an African traveling to America, don't you think there's still slavery?
No, slavery is in the mind now.
Yeah, but yes, to physically, those things are also part of slavery.
Slavery don't only exists in the mind now, so it's up to the individual.
Wow. So
So there's no excuse for anyone.
great.
I mean, I'm saying.
No, but so the way Africans are managing their own continent and so forth, do you think there will be a colonization again in Africa?
No.
Maybe you are not going to resist it or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's enough free people. It will not happen. We'll fight for it. We'll die for it before we allow them to do that again. It will never happen.
So if you are supposed to define Africa to a friend or maybe a diaspora or maybe African American, how would you define Africa to the person?
Africa is full of opportunities. Here, when you're in Africa, it's so weird. It's like the ancestors are like so many more in the same vicinity, so things just happen perfectly. Like you meet the right person at the right time, or you think something and then automatically you see it, and it's just so much like invisible support here. And there's a lot in North America too.
Yeah.
But here, so much more invisible support, spiritual support. I have goosebumps, you see.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, and it's a place where you can I mean, think about it. All the big corporations, they outsource to other countries because it's cheaper. So we have to do the same.
So do you intend to explore Africa more?
Yeah, I do. I need to get stronger in Ghana and become where I feel like I need to be. And then we'll be branching out to Rwanda for another project we'll speak about later
Yeah.
in South Africa.
Wow. So how many countries do you want to explore in Africa?
How many have I been to so
No,
far?
like the ones I want to explore soon.
I want to explore Tanzania.
Mhm. I
Uh,
guess I guess you want to go to Zanzibar.
yeah, I do.
Wow. For chilling, right?
Yeah, I want to see Madagascar, Zimbabwe, um, Nigeria.
So can you name 10 African countries
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm waiting.
Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
Morocco,
Mm-hmm.
Ghana, Togo, Senegal, South Africa, Madagascar, Zimbabwe, Angola, Congo, DRC.
Yeah.
Boom.
You see all these countries that you mentioned,
Yeah.
they are full of borders.
Full of borders.
Yes.
Mm,
So if you were supposed to be a president of Africa,
hmm
what would you do to change those kind of borders and so forth?
Like I said, no borders. Same currency. Choose a language that everyone can do business in.
Let's look at this bigger picture. Sometimes myself, I had a bad experience at the Togo Benin border.
Mm,
So I was just thinking that Africa should go away with borders and so forth. Let's look at the bigger picture too. Imagine a white person or maybe an European coming to Africa.
hmm
He or she has to pass through our border. They need to inspect the person before he comes in because he might have brought a bad substance to the country to destroy us. So if there is no border, nobody's gonna arrest those people. If there is border, they will check and then arrest those people. So let's look at the bigger picture. You are saying that you wish there wouldn't be no border. So if there is no border, don't you think there will be a whole lot of negative impact on the country too, or maybe on the continent?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we just have to be smart, especially if people who aren't of melanin, we should be checked.
No, but
I don't know. I'm not a
yes,
political. I'm not a border patrol person.
yeah, I know.
I don't know.
But yes, still people like that. You might have seen a Caucasian who looks like us, okay? Who the family is what do you call it? A white. The mother is a white. He's not an African American. Maybe just the color has changed
Mm.
and they can have this negative impact in their mind and so forth just to destroy people in Africa. So that was why I was asking you, maybe do you think it's also necessary for us to stick with the border or not to stick with the border?
I don't know.
So just imagine if you were supposed to be the president. What would you do? It's a difficult one, right?
I would stick with the border, but I would make it easier for diasporians to travel within the continent
Yeah.
and everywhere else.
Wow. Anyway, my final question that I want to ask you because I know you are working and you are doing a whole lot of things. You have a whole lot of customers around you, and you need to um, check out on your customers and so forth. Establishing business in Ghana as a diaspora, is it a difficult thing? How is it difficult?
Well, I mean, in America, you can do something quick. Here, you have to pay for uh, a lot of things up front, like the location a year, which doesn't make sense because if I had that much money, I would just build something.
So, how much does it cost you for you to establish a business in Ghana?
Hmm. That just depends. It all depends on the location. The best thing for one to do is to live where they're going to work, so you don't have two different rents or mortgages going on. Um, you need to, first of all, if you're over 35, you should definitely have some property in America, and that property should have been appreciating over the years,
Yeah,
and you need to sell it and move on with the lump sum of cash, because a lot of people will never see a lump sum of cash,
yeah.
but real estate is a way so that you can get your hands on a lump sum of cash in order to make a big move. So use your real estate, and I think that's going to be one of the main ways to do it.
Wow.
So
So, whilst establishing business in Ghana, what was the things that you really considered before establishing a business in Ghana?
Things like,
Maybe in terms of capital, as you said,
I mean,
location
it
and
took
so
me over
forth.
10 years before I could do it. I always wanted to do it. You get me? It's capital.
Yeah. So, how much did it cost you? Mm-hmm.
You want to know the answer?
Yeah, I want to know. I'm just trying to be inquisitive, so I
Hey,
want to know.
Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much. I can't tell you that thing.
I think
Hey,
you've learned the language too. So you are saying
Missy
Charlie.
Chica Krakaka.
Yeah, metichi kakra kakra.
Yeah.
Yeah, madam,
Annie.
etichi kakra kakra.
Annie.
Mm-hmm. So how
You have
much?
to pay me to get the answer to
I
that
just want to
question.
know. I want my viewers to know how much it
Oh,
cost
well,
you.
just know I sold some real estate, and that's the only way I had enough cash to come
Mm-hmm.
do this. And you need a lot of cash because you have to buy where you're going to be when you're here. You're going to need enough cash for a car. You're going to need enough cash for staff because it's even just operating a house takes a full time person. It's kind of weird. I don't know why it's so much work to upkeep a house in Africa, but it is. And then you're going to need cash for marketing.
Yeah.
So, real estate, lump sum of cash. When you get a windfall of cash, you make a move.
Wow. All right. So, in your final word, what would you tell your people out there that are watching you, that are listening to you? What would you tell them?
Well, come visit. It's luxury here. The luxury is a lot more affordable than you might think. Like the Ritz Carlton in America is going to cost you like $450 a night. Here, you'll get something 10 times better than the Ritz Carlton. Fabulous. With full staff. House help is amazing here. The stress is 100 times lower. You won't have to drive, cook, or clean. Here, like how we do in America, we have to work and do all those things, which is why Americans are so stressed. So just, and then come visit us here in Monty Spa.
As you said, you need to visit him. We are promoting Africa. So she is a diaspora. She has established businesses, not a businesses in Ghana. So please, as you are watching this channel, please support her. If you need a massage, don't worry. We don't massage. Do we massage?
Yeah, we massage here.
So I will join you, or maybe I will join him. Then her, then we massage you. For me, my palm is not all that smooth, but yes, still, I'll just try it and massage you. So please, as you're watching, subscribe to our channel, and we'll put her Facebook information, Instagram information on our description. If you need help, if you need a spa to do so many things in Ghana, at least I'll recommend her for you. She's the best. So come on.
Thank you, Madasi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all. Bye bye. You say you that's it.